Okay, so today's video is really short. Basically, we've talked about triangles. In fact, you've solved problems like this. So let's look at how you could solve this problem. You know a lot of things. You know that you have a linear pair here. So that linear pair, well, they have to add up to 180, but I don't know what this angle is. Remember, if you don't know what something is, give it a variable. Since we already used x, can't use x again if you already used x. I'm going to use a different variable. I'm going to call it y. Well, we know that the angles of a triangle sum to 180. So I know that 79 plus 35 plus y has to equal 180. And when I work on putting all that together, let's see, 79 and 35 gives me 114 plus y equals 180. And then we subtract that from the 180. And that gives me y equals 66. Now, again, that's this angle, so I can put 66 in for this. Now, I know I have a linear pair, and we know linear pairs are supplementary. So I know that y plus x has to equal 180, which if I substitute 66 plus x equals 180, that means x equals 114. Wait a minute. Haven't we seen this already? Look at here. Our x and that are the same number. Where did we get this from? By adding these together. Well, that's interesting. That means that this angle x is equal to 79 plus 35. And that actually always happens. That's not just a coincidence. This angle at x is what's known as an exterior angle of a triangle. And the way we get that exterior angle is it's an angle formed when one side of the triangle is extended. So basically, if you take this side BC, if it were just regular triangle BC and we didn't have anything here, and we stretched it out to D, so we extend BC through C to D, then this angle on the outside, ACD, is an exterior angle. Again, exterior means outside. So that's all it is. Now, the theorem that we just saw in action tells us that the exterior angle of a triangle that is going to equal the sum of the remote interior angles. Now, remote, that's something a lot of people have a hard time with. If you think about remote, it's something that's far away. I control my remote television from far away. So when we talk about the remote angles, if this is my exterior angle, this one's adjacent. So the remote ones are the far away. Sometimes refer to the remote as the non-adjacent. Okay, so that's what we mean by the remote angle. It's the non-adjacent one. So there it is. The exterior angle is equal to those two added together. Simple as that. So let's look at one more example. Then I might have you do something on your own. So our example here says I've got some parallel lines. So AB and DE are parallel. We can see I'm marked with my little feathers there. BAC, so BAC is 2x minus 20. So that's this angle right here. Notice I got it drawn in with the line. I usually try to put those inside the angle, but it's a small diagram. ACB is 30. That's already in there. And DEF is x plus 55. So that's already there. They want us to find angle CED. Sometimes if you're having a hard time finding these angles, connect the dots. Oh, there's CED. So this is the angle we're trying to find. Again, I can't use x because x has already been used. So I'm going to call it y. Well, I know these two angles are supplementary, but that doesn't really help because I can't set them and say equals to 180. I got two variables. I can't do two variables. But let's look at those parallel lines. Let me continue with this green. Here's another parallel line. There's a transversal. These two angles are alternate interior. Well, also, if I use this transversal, this angle, and this angle are alternate interiors, which means they're equal. So this is 2x minus 20. These two angles are vertical angles, so that's 30. Well, now look at this. This is an exterior angle of the triangle. You don't see that? Well, here's my triangle, and I extend one side out. So there's my exterior angle. Well, we just said the exterior angle is equal to the remote sum of the remotes. So x plus 55, the exterior angle, is equal to the 30 plus the 2x minus 20. Now here, again, I'm not using this adjacent angle, but that's okay because that's a different variable. If I can find x, I can get y. So using that idea here, I'll do a little algebra work. So that's going to be 2x plus 10. If I subtract this x here, subtract 10 there, I get that. Double check my arithmetic. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so now I know that that is 45, which means that this angle, x plus 55, that's 45 plus 55. And 45 plus 55, I believe, gives me 100. That gives me 100 degrees here. So that means angle Y, angle CED, well, that's supplementary to this. So it has to be 80 degrees. So again, that's working your way through a problem, saying, hey, I can't get something right away. Even if I put the Y here, I got X's and Y's. So let me work my way through and see what else I can do. Okay? Now it's your turn to try some on your own. So work through this Wizer.me page, type your answers in. If it's not exactly the way mine is written, that's fine. I will go through and make corrections. Okay? Have fun. I'll see you later.